Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We live here at Energetic Enterprise Youth Community Studios, and we got a special guest here tonight. Shout out to CJ Fly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all?
We doing good tonight. How you doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling, enjoying the spring weather. Happy spring to you all.
Yo, same to you, man. Same to you, man.
Hold on, my. Oh, now I can hear myself likewise.
Yeah, for sure. Pleasure, fellas. Hope y'all doing good tonight as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Yo, to start this off, I just wanted to tell you that, really a big fan of your music. I'm a real big fan of Joey Badass, Pro Era. Yo, y'all whole group. Yo, we bumping your song Rude Boy right now, and it's it's also giving me Jamaican vibes too.
For sure. That's the culture. You know, I'm from Flatbush originally. Mm-hmm. My pops is Jamaican. Came here back in the 80s. You know what I mean? And I'm the offspring of that, so I got to represent the culture. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So how was the neighborhood for you growing up? I know where I come from, there's a small percentage of whites. Where I'm at is more or less diverse. There's more right. Jamaicans, Haitians, you feel me? Latinos and all that. How was it where you grew up at?
I grew up in the late 90s, mid 90s. You know, I was born in 93, so as I got older, I started to experience more diversity, but Flatbush, for the most part, in the 90s was all Caribbean people. You know what I mean? Mm. You had your white folks that own the stores. You had the Asian people that own the Chinese food stores and nail salons and stuff like that. But other than those specific people in the community that you knew to have a certain role in the community, we didn't really have too much white people in my building. I don't think there was any white people in my building on my block. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on Linden, over there by Flatbush, where they used to have the block.
You want to hear something funny? Not to cut you off, but I was just over there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just over there yesterday.
Yesterday, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, my man Jared came because we went because I go to record near where you grew up at. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, no, it's a dope neighborhood now. You know, they gentrified it a little bit. We got new buildings. We got, when I be going through to Flatbush sometimes, I drive by and I'm like, yo, this is crazy to me. I be seeing all types of different people of all types of walks of life walking their dog. And I'm like, this would never happen in 2001, 2002. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not to say that they weren't welcome, but it was just a different energy. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So Brooklyn is definitely getting better as far as diversity goes. You know, the foolishness is always going to be the foolishness, but
right.
The community side of it is definitely evolving into this melting pot of cultures. That's what Flatbush was known to be, a boiling pot, melting pot of different Caribbean, West Indian cultures, and Brooklyn is just the melting pot of the world. There's a person from every place in the world in Brooklyn.
Nah, that's real talk.
Nah, I got a question, what made you really get into music and everything? From you by yourself and then creating Pro Era, becoming the co-founders and everything. What was it like back then?
So for me, music was my outlet. I'm an only child, and being an only child, I ain't really express myself much to other people. And especially us being young black men. You say too much to certain people, you get, yo, stop being sensitive, stop being soft, stop being this and that. And it's at some point in time, you're just going to start being sheltered and keep your information and your feelings to yourself, And me knowing, I'm born in July, I'm a Cancer, you know what I mean? I know I'm in touch with my emotions. Oh, word, see? So, we get a mixed review. Somebody might hit Cancer and be like, oh my God. But it's little do they know the Cancer is the most loyal friend you can have out of all of the zodiac. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The best people to be around. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to learn these things by spending time with myself and getting to know myself and gaining knowledge of self. And me being able to gain knowledge of self was through writing. You know what I mean? It started off with poetry, and then from the poetry, I went on to do rap. You know what I'm saying? I started doing my first raps at school, in elementary and junior high school. And as I kept going, I kept rapping. And I recorded my first rap on a karaoke machine that my dad bought me for Christmas you know what I'm saying? As a kid, I had to get the cassette tapes. Like, yo, I need some blanks. I would play something on the CD, press a button where for some reason the vocals is not playing, and then I record myself over it. Like, that was my first experience making music, you know what I mean? And then to go from that to going to high school, still doing my thing and meeting everybody. And, they knew I rap before we even started this group. You know what I mean? I had my own SoundCloud. My first song, you could probably find it still too. I'm dropping a gem for y'all. I've never mentioned this anywhere. Somebody posted it the other day and I was mind blown. My first song I ever uploaded to the internet was called Don't Forget That. And it's on Mac Miller's Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza beat that he used from Lord Finesse. And somebody posted it the other day and just took me back, like, wow, like, I've been rapping for a long time. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I used it for expression of, being able to voice things I wasn't able to voice in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my pops is Jamaican. I go to him with certain talks. I'm like, yo, you know why I hear that? So it's like, if he's on that type of time, I'm like, I bet I'm going to the studio. I used to sneak to the studio, not even tell my parents. And I would sneak to the studio and get some music done and then come back and just, try to curate that vibe myself because, you got to be able to have some type of outlet to really express yourself and get your feelings and your thought off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I got a question. So, like, how do you, move around, with all these people dying and stuff nowadays, being a rapper and stuff? Like, how do you, move around?
I don't move around. I got a 2-year-old. I stay home. I stay to myself. If you see me, it's going to be like you seen a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be out and about. You're not going to see me nowhere for more than, you know what I'm saying, a couple seconds when you do see me. So it's like, I'm very tact. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be James Bond to see me outside for more than 10 minutes. I'm like, I'll make an appearance. I throw a shadow bomb. You ever heard of an Irish goodbye?
Nah.
That's how I stay alive, you heard?
Oh.
You go to an event, the event end at 10, I'm out of that event at 8:45. Oh God. Like, I don't some people stay till they start sweeping. Like, that's not my style. And I've always moved with it like that since young, and I used to go to parties and I was doing Jamaican dancing and all that other stuff. Like, I've just always been like that, you know what I'm saying? And if you listen to my album, Rude Boy, you hear what my pops is talking about. My pops just raised me like that. Like, I'm not sure if y'all listen to the album as well, but, my pops, I don't know if I even spoke about this on the album, but my pops was hustling back in the day, and thank God he didn't die, but he got shot. You know what I'm saying? So off that experience alone and him living through it and telling me what not to do and what to do, that's how I move. You know what I mean? So shout outs to my pops for making sure that, you know what I'm saying, his street wisdom is passed on to me as I navigated through this world. And my advice for y'all is just to stay out the way. You don't need to be out with everybody all the time. Like, think about how much people and how much kids lost their life trying to go hang out with somebody else or have fun compared to when they wanted to just stay home and be by themselves. You know what I'm saying? That one night you decide to go out, it could be anything. And that can happen to anybody, God forbid, you know what I mean? But you just got to be mindful of where you're going and where you're spending your time. And, it's very rare somebody could get me out the house. You know what I mean? So I'm a homebody. That's a part of being a cancer. Cancers are known to be home. You know what I mean? Yeah. So staying home helps you stay alive, my brothers.
Nah, yo.
Stay out the way.
Now, yo, CJ, I got a question for you. Like, so, like, I heard back in 2013, you went on tour with Wiz Khalifa, your whole Pro Era group, Trinidad James. Like, yo, like, tell me, like, what was that experience like, man?
That was fire. It was a fire tour. Like, that was like the first big tour I think we went on outside of touring with Juicy J for our first tour, That first tour was like more of like underground, independent vibes, you know what I'm saying? And then the next tour was like amphitheaters, like, whoa, like we went from Flatbush to doing like half a stadium, you know what I mean? And it was scary. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was very scary. But, you know, we did the damn thing we did what we had to do, and we made sure we put on a good performance. And you know, touring with Wiz was dumbfire, bro. Like, the ASAP crew was on there.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention ASAP Rocky.
Man. Yeah, ASAP was all of us. It was dope to like even tour with them. You know what I mean? Because in New York, people don't really hang out with each other unless you cross paths, and that was like a solidification of our brotherhood too. So shout outs to the ASAP boys and Taylor Gang. You know what I mean? Like that tour was amazing, bro. I have only positive memories on that tour. It was amazing.
Yo, so like, when did you and Joey Badass like first met? Like, when did y'all like decided when like y'all wanted to like collide together and like start this group called Pro Era? Like, tell me about that, man.
So essentially, you know, high school is where everything was stewing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Myself, Powers Pleasant, Capital Steez, and Joey, we used to cut class and go into the school auditorium and play music and make raps and try to make music. You know what I'm saying? And I was the first to graduate out of all of us. So I was like around, but like distant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we started this private thing in school. So it was like, you know, I was always able to be a part of all the ciphers we were doing, everything else. And then, you know, Steez and Powers would be together mostly. And Joey and I lived around the corner from each other in Flatbush. So that's why we've had so many songs and we worked together. And, you know, I was able to help him record 99 and other songs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So Steez and Powers came up with the name and then hit us up. It was like, yo, da-da-da-da. And, you know, everything just came from there. And it was just magic since high school. We knew something was special about us, and we were all like-minded individuals, and we had the same goal, was to shift the culture and change the world. And, you know, we did just that, and we're still doing just that. So shout outs to the gang, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and one more question. Yo, who is your favorite artist of all time to like listen to any day of the week?
Favorite artist of all time to listen to any day of the week? I'm gonna just say Big L.
Oh,
because
that was a
good answer.
Yeah, and the reason I say Big L, because I haven't been listening to him lately since I had my son. My son is 2. Mm-hmm. But like Big L is somebody that I pride and study to try to be as good as him, because if he was alive, he would be literally top 2, top 1. You know what I'm saying?
You ever listen to the 7-minute freestyle with him and Jay-Z?
Of course.
Pearl.
Of course. And it's like,
Pearl.
That right there is the epitome of amazing rap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and it's like, anytime I play it, I didn't play it for 2 years, and I played it the other day, and it was just magical, like all over again. So Big L just has that. I don't know what it is, bro, but shout outs to Big L, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. God bless his soul.
Bars, songs, flows, flawless. He got a couple, just like Biggie and a couple other people where they be like, yo, why you said that, my G? But Big L is highly recommended. If you haven't checked out Big L, check out Big L.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Definitely one of my favorite lyricists. Definitely up there next to Mos Def for a fact.
That's a fact. And I'm gonna drop a gem on y'all. I just seen an article the other day that said the week he died, he was supposed to sign to Rockefeller with Hov.
Wow.
Ooh. Yo,
how crazy is that?
I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor like that a few years back too.
Right. And it's like they actually, somebody found a flyer for the release party. It was supposed to be a celebration, like signing party. They found a flyer and they posted it, and it was like, look, this was Big L's Rockefeller signing event that was supposed to happen. And it's like, you know, back to your question about being safe, that's the stuff you gotta, you know what I'm saying? He might have not thought that would have happened, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, pardon me with the light. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, he left before he was supposed to go. You know what I mean? Yeah. God got his plan, the universe got his plan, but
yeah, and
sad situation, man, because he would have definitely been up there with Hov right now, you know?
And you know, it's crazy that you mentioned it, and it reminds me of Pop Smoke, because like before he got killed, he was supposed to sign to 50. You know what I'm saying? Like as in right now, like if Pop was still here, like he would have been like the king of like this whole drill music.
Not even only drill, he would have been king of New York. And it's like outside of his drill music, he had potential to go other places. that's the thing about this music thing we do. It's like, depending on what style you present, you could definitely be one of the biggest, and if you could have versatility. Like he's a Caribbean kid, so he was gonna go put a little Caribbean flavor in it eventually. And he was doing it a little bit, but it's like, the more you're able to expand on your artistry, the further you get to go. So, you know what I mean? And you guys gonna hear a lot of that on my new album, like so many from regular vibes to up-tempo vibes. It's just, you gotta have versatility, you know what I mean? So
it's a fact.
Now I got a question. So, what advice would you give to the young people in the rap game, like nowadays?
Rap about something that I don't hear every day. Like my least favorite thing to hear from young people right now is how they gonna do what they do to their op. It's like, that is so boring.
Yeah.
It's not even a matter of I'm trying to be on some old Grant. Oh, I don't want to. No, but like, it's like not even entertaining. I think I seen an interview with Remy Ma saying that the other day. Like, it's not even getting. It's not even appealing to me. I want to hear some dope stories. Tell me your life story. You know what I'm saying? Tell me why you got PTSD at 16. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you don't have to tell me, like, music right now to me, and somebody might get upset about this, but music to me right now, it feels like just a bunch of musical threats.
Yeah.
It
is. Everybody dissing each other.
It's politics.
And it's like, if depending on what you use music to do, like, music for me, it makes me feel the way I'm listening to whatever I'm listening to. So I can't listen to that type of stuff. I'm raising a 2-year-old. Yeah. I'm not trying to be on my shoot 'em up bang bang at all. Like, I'm trying to be on some positivity. So it's like, I'm listening to oldies, like stuff where, you know what I'm saying? Roy Ayers, what you call it? Bill Withers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you guys know who those people are, but you should know. You know what I'm saying?
The Isley Brothers and all that.
Yeah,
tap in. That's the real. I know y'all a part of the program. Y'all tapped in, but it's like, that's the real music. You feel me? And that's the stuff that I listen to with my son and try to put him on to, because it's like, the music you take in is gonna create your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel like you need to do the things that you need, like you need to stay up to date, or you need to like act like the music is describing. And it's like, that's the programming right there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta deprogram and make sure music is a part of your diet. You see how you eat food, you're like, I can't eat too much McDonald's, it's gonna make me poop. Yeah. You listen to too much poop, you're gonna talk poop. So it's just like, it's that simple. You gotta, whatever you put into your body through your ears or your eyes, is going to be regurgitated and, redistributed. So just be mindful of that. So I'm not saying you can't listen to that stuff. There's people that go to the gym and that have, you know what I'm saying? But my advice to an artist is, like I said, be original. Don't do what everybody else is doing, and be yourself. Tell your story. That's what music was all about. Hip hop was started by people who wanted to talk about their struggles. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I hone in on that and take pride in, like I said, being a storyteller and being somebody who genuinely wants to get people to know who I am and my experience growing up in Flatbush. All the questions you guys are asking me, even if you didn't ask me, you could listen to the music and be like, oh, snaps. Like, I can hear it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, like I said, being yourself. There's no artist in the world. Well, I ain't gonna say this, but there's no artist that's appreciated for being like another artist. There's artists that are like other artists, and they're very successful. Like, these labels would love to sign another Pop Smoke right now. You know how that goes. But
of course,
the reality of it is, there's only one of you. And if you're an artist, nobody could do what you do. There ain't nobody out there that could be CJ Fly or do what I do. They could try, but it's not possible unless it's my son and he want to take the you know what I'm saying, the baton. But it's like, even then, you are you, and there's only one of each person. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah, like for example, like, there will never be another Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Somebody said to me the other day, and I love The Weeknd. They said, "Yo, you think The Weeknd is the next Michael Jackson?" And I said, "Can The Weeknd dance like Michael Jackson?"
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, I'm not even trying to
Usher can't even do it like that.
What I'm saying is, like, you can't compare a person just because of similarities. It goes back to my point just now. You need it to be original, and it's like, not taking anything away from The Weeknd. The Weeknd is one of the biggest stars in the world, But to make that comparison is too much. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to compare Drake to Jay-Z. Drake is Drake. You know what I mean?
Word.
So it's just levels to it. When people stop getting caught up on who's like who, you know what I'm saying? It's never going to be another Michael Jackson, you know? So we got to just enjoy people while we got them, because life is not promised. You know what I'm saying? Each human being lives a life of, you know, from 0 to hopefully 100. And you got to make the best of that time while you're here. You know what I'm saying? So my piece of advice to you brothers is think about what you want your legacy to be on this earth, even when you are no longer here. And my music is that. I'm gonna forever be immortal because I have music with a positive message, and it's always going to be appreciated. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be 1,000 years from now, and they're going to be having digital currency through your finger. And somebody going to be like, yo, play CJ Fly Money. She's stressing me out. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how music should be. You should think about those types of things. What's going to last the test of time? Not, let me make a song that sounds like 2023. Like, make something that's timeless and that's going to be here forever. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question. Now, I know you're signed with, ADA? If I'm not mistaken.
I'm independent right now.
Oh, you independent right now? Now, give me some insight on your experience with ADA and why you're independent.
Well, I love ADA. That was my best experience working with a label. And I'm independent because I finished my deal. You know what I'm saying? When you do good business, you fulfill your contracts, you get to do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
some people say,
like,
what'd you say?
About like the logistics with the contracts. I know like some labels, like they're mixy. Other labels, you know, they may be, you know, positive. Like, what is like the pros and the cons? Since it comes off like there's more pros with this place, you know, like what are all the pros, and say how do the pros like outweigh the cons when it comes to this label opposed to like what you may hear about other labels speaking to different artists?
Well, it depends on what, this is the thing with people. It depends on what your deal is. That'll determine your situation. It's not mainly about the label. Anybody can get a different deal. Pardon me. Everybody can get a different deal from a label. So, for example, you could all be on Def Jam, you could all be on Columbia, or you could all be on Interscope and have different deals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you hear people complaining about one label, it's not necessarily just the label, it's how the business is being done, you know?
Yeah.
And ADA was a subsidiary of Warner Records, and they're more like an independent distribution branch. So it was mainly just distribution, and I was assigned to them directly, you know? I got that deal through my Pro Era deal. So essentially, when I completed my Pro Era deal with ADA, I was able to release all of my own stuff and own my own masters. Now, the reason I liked working with them is because, you know, they had great communication, and it's important when you have a label that believes in you. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
So my biggest piece of advice to anybody who wants to do business with a label is make sure you have a lawyer to make sure you're going to be happy about the terms of your business, and also be aware of the new structure that might be introduced to you, because I was independent my whole career, and to go to work with such a professional label was like a step up for me and felt really good and taught me so much. So you can learn from those experiences, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it there's any good in like complaining all the time about situations without taking the lessons from them. You know what I mean? So there's a lesson in every mistake, and there's a lesson in every good decision made too.
I got a question. How would you describe your style? Rap.
My style? I would describe my style as fly, of course. Universal. Rugged, raw. I got a lot of verbs. I could keep going. Rude boy, raga. You know what I'm saying? I'm a mixture of a lot of worlds. Like I feel like I make, you know, some people make New York music, and I feel like I make world music. So one word, if you wanted to say one word, worldly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And in order to get around the world, you gotta fly. So fly and worldly.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I mean, all right, so I'm the elder over here, right? So I'm about to just ask, like, you know, the elder questions real quick for the youngest, right? So So let me ask you something. When it comes to money and finances, how do you go about that, especially as an artist, and especially as we talking about record labels? Do they give you an advance? Do you have to pay that back? And then how you go about investing your money and making more?
So I think your best bet would be to potentially. I seen a post about this earlier, right? Now it's easier said than done. Ebro and somebody else posted. You could just go to the bank. I think it was Earn Your Leisure. You're better off going to a bank rather than getting money from a label to owe them. And it's like you don't have the same resources with money. You could be rich. I give you an example. The rich person that wants to become a musician, they don't know where to put that money, right? So they're just making mad spending on videos, spending on the wrong things, and they might not be getting the results. And sometimes a lot of people waste money on labels and like investing into labels, thinking that they're gonna get their return because they're putting money into it. This industry was built upon relationships and other things along those lines, like working together other than relationships for, like, what I'm saying, money. It's marketing, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't have money, you won't get the same exposure. To get on the radio, people pay. To get on TV, people pay. Everything costs, So you're not gonna just magically overnight just hit all the nodes with money. But having the right partner will help you get as far as you need to get and do the things that you need to do for your career and be able to be a star. So it's very important that you pick the right partner and pick the right label that actually believes in you, is actually invested in you financially and like spiritually and mentally too. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure they believe in everything you got going on. So I've been lucky enough to have supportive labels, and that has helped me be able to create the art that I want to create. So my advice when it comes to that type of stuff is be careful. Don't just jump for the bag, because the bag may come with you losing your integrity and your self-respect for that bag. You know what I'm saying? And that you can't get that back. You know what I mean? So you got to be mindful. Have a lawyer. The lawyer will never well, I won't say never. The lawyer is not going to intentionally lead you wrong, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Human beings are human beings. So outside of the technicals of the law, you know what I'm saying? Stuff happens. But ultimately, you just got to be on your P's and Q's. Like, some people just take the first offer, and you don't always have to take the first offer. There's an interview online with Fabio Foreign saying, oh, yeah, I was getting this amount of money offered from labels, and I would take that piece of paper and take it to the other label and say, what you want to do, and take it to that label. It's like, there's so many ways to play it. You just need to be aware of how the game is done. The internet is available to you. There's books, there's information. So being aware of where the money is going to go and how you're going to obtain the money is important. You know what I'm saying? Label will give you an advance, but an advance is not free money. That $1 million they're giving you is out of the $1 million that you will be making them back. And until you pay that $1 million back, you ain't getting none of your money. And depending on what deal you sign, you ain't getting none of your money and the rest of the money after they get their money back, because you might have just sold away all your masters for 2%. You know what I'm saying? So you got to read the contract, have a lawyer, and make sure you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Now, how do you own your masters? Like, how do you like copyright like your own thing? Like, you know how you said like you make poetry? Have you ever published your poetry?
So I'm not familiar with text. That's another field. I'm pretty sure there is a copyright organization or like what you call it, company that helps you do that, like the same way you could trademark stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to music and lyrics, when you put a song out, it's protected by the copyright of what you call it, our publishing and sound exchange and stuff like that. Yeah. And I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that specific question, but I know music gets copyrighted when it's released through whatever distributor is released through. And that's why people can't steal somebody's lyrics or still flows from somebody that when they put their song out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So owning your masters, to answer your question, owning your masters is when you record a song, and even if you don't give it to the label or not, right? And you sign to a label. Once you record a song, you own your masters. That's owning your masters. Now, the problem is people own their masters and don't know what to do with it or don't have the knowledge of where to plant the masters, how to get licensing, how to get opportunities for that music. So it's important to find a partner that if you are going to be giving up a piece of your masters, that's going to be getting you in movies, getting you opportunities like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why most people give up a share of their masters or for an advance or for them to continue to market it. You know what I'm saying? That's the exchange the labels ask for. So unless you sign to a deal that says they own the masters for the albums that you submit, or like depending on what deal you sign, hopefully you don't sign a screwed up deal that says they own everything you record for the rest of your life, because that's not how anything is done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the things that you'll see and you'll be able to navigate through when you get more knowledge of ownership. You know what I'm saying? And what your terms are. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what you negotiate. If you sign a deal and say, I don't want my masters, then you do not own your masters. It's that simple.
How do you stay motivated and inspired to make music?
Honestly, my biggest motivation right now is my son.
Okay.
My son, we get in the car, he'd be like, play shake, play shake. play money, play money. And he'd be in the back like, and that just boosts my whole existence. Like my greatest creation ever is appreciate my other creations. Like how fire is that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, you know, having a kid this young that's aware that his father makes music, like my son is 1 turning 2 in a couple days, and he says, play CJ Fly. Like, that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's mad motivating. Like, if my son can say that, every baby, adult, elderly person, animal can say my name as well and know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So there's so much further for me to go with this Fly movement. Like, I feel like I named myself CJ Fly for multiple reasons, because I dress really well, you know what I'm saying? And I was known to be a fly guy. And outside of that, being fly is not about me. Everybody is fly. It's a movement, you know what I'm saying? That's why I have the swarm. And everybody who's a part of that, we all fly. I'm not the only person that's fly. You fly, you fly, you fly, you fly. It's like, it's no single person that's fly. You know what I'm saying? I'm CJ Fly, but we all fly in our own way. You know what I'm saying? And that's the idea behind it. So that makes me motivated to, you know what I'm saying, continue to expand and continue to build this up so the whole world feels how I feel about myself and is confident and knows that you are fly. You know what I'm saying? If you like being bummy, you're a bum, that's fine, but everybody's fly. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I got another question. How do you feel about the haters, like, online, just trolling and stuff about the music, like the music you make? Like, how do you respond to it?
To be honest, I don't engage them. And when I do, it's just because today I got time, but outside of that, it's like, I don't really got time for that, because it's like I told you, I'm raising a 2-year-old right now, bro. Like, imagine me sitting home while reading my son books and playing music. Like, hold on, son, let me give daddy a second. Let me respond to this troll. Like, you can't feed into that. These people have no lives. They're low vibrational beings. And this is what they do to feel their oxytocin and get their you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Feel good about themselves. And it's like, you can't engage that energy. Like I said about your diet, what you put in your eyes, your mind, and your ears, you regurgitate. And I'm not trying to be on that energy. Yeah. I'm a positive person. I'm all about, you know what I'm saying, progression. I ain't about tuning into that energy. Is digression to me. And I ain't trying to digress. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep going and scale and be the best me I could ever be. So definitely, man, don't pay that crap no mind, because those are the bums. They are not fly.
Definitely not fly.
I'll tell you guys, we're running down on time a bit. We got about 5 more minutes. Any final thoughts, questions? I mean, one thing on my mind I wanted to see was what was one thing that you see is affecting the youth or the people in our communities, you know, especially Black and Latino communities? What are like some of the issues that you see?
Oh man, I think, like I said, you know, the things that we are digesting isn't good for our psyche, you know, and it's like, as somebody who actually does have PTSD from, you know, surviving so much stuff growing up, I can only imagine what the youth is going through with the lifestyles that we portray and sell and live right now. And it's like, my biggest concern is like, you know, mental health. I feel like already as Black and children of color and people of color, we don't have safe spaces to express ourselves. And that's why I said to you, brothers, I started with poetry, I started writing, I started journaling, because I felt very alone. And sometimes, even as an adult, I can feel alone, you know, and it's okay if you feel alone. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to know that there's different spaces and different outlets for you to be able to talk to people, therapy, you know, different communities that are there and have safe spaces for you to be able to open up and vent. And I feel like people do things because they don't have somebody to talk to, or they're not able to even communicate what they really feeling. So my biggest concern is, like I said, mental health. I really want the world and the youth to know that there are other options, like I say in my music, and we have so much resources available to us. Granted, you know, everything costs money. You got to have insurance to get therapy and all of this stuff. They need to make therapy free. But the main thing I want the youth to do is like really start journaling and start analyzing your thoughts and really being self-aware, get knowledge of self. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we're losing knowledge of self, and that's the reason why kids and adults is doing bug out stuff for no reason. You know what I mean? So mindfulness, y'all. Mindfulness.
Word. So we got 2 minutes. Any final?
Yeah. One thing I will say is that, like, keep a lookout for us because we're gonna be up there with you.
Facts.
I believe you. You're in good hands right there. That's my guy right there. You already know.
Yeah.
Make sure you pardon me.
Oh, yo.
Send me y'all address too on when we get off, and I'm gonna send y'all some fly hats so y'all can be fly in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
I got you. I'm gonna tap in with y'all. It was a pleasure being on here. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Likewise.
Keep going. Don't ever quit. And you know what I'm saying? Lock in on your dreams. Don't play with it.
Same thing to you.
Same thing to you.
Yo, nice meeting you. Yo, peace to to the group, peace to Joey Badass, everybody who's part of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yo, all love and peace.
You know, mad love.
All right, y'all. Blessings, y'all. Blessings.
Yes, sir. You already know the vibes, yo. This has been the Energetic Enterprise Youth Community Studios podcast. And we out of here. Once again, it's your boy Jay Flyer, and we was here with Kels and Jared, and your boy Vince right here.
And on that note, folks,
Now,
we about to call it a night.
Peace.
Peace.
What? Oh yeah. I go by the name CJ Fly. For those who didn't know. And this is the way I see it. 'Cause it's the way I see it.